I think we are really just in the infancy, really, of understanding human sexuality and marriage with a standpoint of things beyond just merely the function of procreation and making kids.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I think. Welcome back, everyone. Craig and Jonah here today. OnlyFans.
Yep.
That's today's topic. What do you got for us,
came
Jonah?
across an interesting stat. What percentage of OnlyFans users do you think are married?
How about 75%?
90%. What percentage of that do you think is male? And this is according to AI.
90%.
It's 63%.
Oh, wow.
So, like,
plot twist.
And I don't know if the AI is correct on that, but that's interesting as well. Like, how many married women are using OnlyFans?
Are the OnlyFans actors men or women?
That's a good question. I'd wondered that myself, but it also says that OnlyFans, well, it has like fitness creators and that sort of thing. But if you're a fitness creator on OnlyFans, I think you should choose a different platform.
Hey, that's what we're doing wrong. We need to put this show on OnlyFans.
Yeah. So the average OnlyFans content creator gets $7 per subscriber.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you need a couple 100,000 subscribers and you're set.
I'm going to go on a limb here and guess there's not a huge audience for this pair of guys on OnlyFans. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I think you could. People hear that voice, but it's just voice. There's no body.
Yeah, I'll read the phone book or whatever.
NFP approved.
But the thing is, so why do you think married men turn to OnlyFans?
Well, I'm sure it's just they're missing something in their relationship, right?
I'm assuming it's because it's really important for men to have a relationship with somebody that appears sexually satisfied, at least. And that's really their only opportunity. For some guys, that's their only opportunity for that. Like, for whatever reason, and I don't know why, but that's a really important component of a relationship. And if your wife constantly turns you down and you don't want to have an affair, like, I think that it's obvious to a lot of men that just having an affair is wrong. However, you can just go online and find this woman that appears to be attracted to you, and you pay her $7 a month or whatever, and it kind of fulfills this void in your relationship. I am guessing that's what it is. And they feel like it's not totally cheating because there's no physical intimacy, but it's more of an emotional, connection.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and this is where I think someone posted on Twitter, one of the trads posted on Twitter about this couple that, same story, got married and then like a year and a half into the marriage, they were like never having sex anymore. And I think overall the marriage is good, but it kind of sucks. And he was trying to figure out why. And of course the trads are like, oh, she's got a duty and all this and that. But
if she's not interested.
Yeah, I think I said, I made a comment. I said, sounds like they ought to read the 5 Love Languages book and implement that. My wife recently read the book. I had read the book a while ago, and probably my primary love language is words of affirmation. And and I think part of that is the sense that my wife enjoys the things that we do together or is satisfied in that way or whatever. And I think even if we had no problems in frequency and all that, but if there was not a sense of she's satisfied or enjoyed or likes me or is proud of me, I think there would be this huge gaping hole in my love tank. And I suspect that is why a lot of guys turn to porn, even guys that are in marriages where they're it's not a sexless marriage, they have an intimate life, but if I think there is something where husbands especially want a wife that feels very satisfied and whatever, and if she either can't or doesn't express that, I think that's where guys go
Then you
looking
can
for
pay
that.
for it.
You could pay for someone to give you that feeling of, whatever.
Even if it's
You're the
cheap
best
and
lover ever had, or whatever,
and insincere,
Yeah.
but it's good enough.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely right. I think that is absolutely right.
And that's sad, but it's the reality of
It
it.
doesn't justify it, but I think it's important to understand it because I think in these marriages, I think a lot of those marriages aren't necessarily bad marriages, and even like the husbands or wives they love each other, but I think a lot of people just don't understand
the other spouse.
Yeah, they don't understand how to love, or they don't understand what their spouse is missing from the relationship. And I say this, I think there's elements of that we still haven't figured out 20 some years into our marriage. It's getting, I think we learn a little bit every day, but it's not intuitive.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, even Thomas Aquinas supported prostitution, and so I'm not sure how he'd feel about OnlyFans.
Yeah,
because I mean, he thought that there should be this conjugal act involved with prostitution. I think, but when you think about that, back then, like who was using the prostitutes in the Middle Ages? Was it married men then too? And it's just interesting that he would think that they were a necessary part of a functioning society, because if they weren't there, lust would just be everywhere.
Yeah.
Like the prostitutes, soothed, these feelings of, I'm assuming, married men at that time as well. And so if marriage wasn't doing that great in the Middle Ages, or marriage was a struggle in the Middle Ages, that would be surprising to me.
Really?
I guess. Well, just as far as life was certainly simpler. I mean, sure, there was a lot more worries about dying and diseases and that sort of thing, but for prostitutes to be a necessary part of society just is interesting to think about. And maybe the OnlyFans girls do provide some service. I don't know.
I think it's real easy, especially for traditionalists, to kind of have rose-colored glasses about the past. And they like to talk about the low divorce rate 100 and some years ago.
Oh, well, it was illegal, right? Like,
yeah, like it wasn't because everyone loved each other all the time,
or didn't have affairs.
Yeah, that I so much of this stuff is just baked into things that I don't think it matters which century you're in. I suspect that realistically we have more loving marriages despite all the problems we have in today's society. I bet there's more love in marriage now than there's ever been. OnlyFans notwithstanding, but
you could be right. I mean, people probably have more choice over who they marry, and they have access to basically people all over the world.
Well, we don't live in a society where half the children you produce die their first year,
which would obviously be terrible to go through.
Yeah.
Or the risk of dying to the wife during childbirth.
Yeah. I think marriage was much more of a functional thing in the past than it was like a vocation or a relationship of love, which quite honestly I think explains some of the theology we have, some of the old rules, whether it's marital debt or whatever. I think it's hard to. I think some of these traditional rules came out of an atmosphere where marriage is viewed very differently than it is now, and is part of the reason why they don't necessarily translate well to the modern situation, even among Catholics, whether it's natural family planning or whatever. I think we are really just in the infancy, really, of understanding human sexuality and marriage with a standpoint of things beyond just merely the function of procreation and making kids. Even though I think a lot of traditionalists think we got to go back to that. That's the problem. Our good old friend John Farrell. Oh yeah, as soon as you introduce love to it, then marriage all fell apart. And I'm like, I don't.
John will be happy we talked about him
Yeah.
again.
Sorry, John. I think I'm going to stick with the idea that love in marriage is a positive thing.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's not just a contract.
No, I just
like it is with OnlyFans.
Yeah,
$7 a month or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it hurts me to hear those figures because I think by and large it is not, real devious. I mean, there's some real creeps in there, I'm sure. I'm not condoning it, but I think I think in many ways those are a lot of people that are just hurting and haven't had the benefit of finding the show yet to figure out how to love their spouse and really amp their marriage up.
It's true. How many OnlyFans subscribers do you think there are?
Total?
Yep, total.
30 million.
220 million. There's 5.5 million unique visitors per day. Wow. 174 million unique visitors per month. 500,000 new users signing up every single day.
I wonder why people are doing that and not like free porn or whatever. Like, I wonder what.
I think it's the customized interaction, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like where you're actually. I think it's probably you talk to somebody for at least a brief moment.
Yeah, I think people do want that human interaction, and maybe it feels less bad to some people. I don't know.
That or they get sick of porn.
Yeah, maybe
and they want, and it's more personalized porn, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe it feels more realistic to them. I think maybe.
But I think it's because they're lacking this intimacy with their spouse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be what it is.
Yep. I think that's absolutely true. I think the physical intimacy is very important, but you need something more than that. Like you need that because connection.
Like, how much is that really worth to a guy? To have like a woman not only enjoy whatever, but also talk to them like in kind language. I mean, that's worth a lot. Yeah. It's worth a hell of a lot more than whatever they're paying a month.
Yeah. Having a wife is more than just having someone that satisfies the marital debt and takes care of you. But I think men still want that receptivity or whatever. That's attaboy, good job,
yep,
honey, kind of thing.
Stuff is important.
I think it is.
And that's the reason OnlyFans exists. We've unlocked that.
Yeah. I think that's
whether it's not right, but
it's understandable. I mean, you can see how it happens. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Stop following OnlyFans. Come over here. Follow the show.
Yep. And if we could find a way to make all marriages function, perfectly. I mean, that's really what our goal should be as Catholics, or because marriage is really, the ultimate. I don't know how you say that, but like, it's kind of the ultimate way to live your life as a Catholic, I guess. I mean, like they talk, they have the single life, but healthy marriages is so important to every aspect of the church, and we really need that.
Yep. Amen. All right.
Thank
you for that breaking news and Critical data, Jonah.
You bet.
All right. Thank you, Jonah. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And until next time, everyone.
Bye.